Kay. Hope everyone is very well. Obviously, we're just a little bit later than we normally would be. Just had a few things that I needed to get finished before we started and before we went live. Yeah, hope everyone is well. We know what we're going to be seeing tonight. We weren't sure what... in fact, it's down here, isn't it? Let me try and move this so it's a bit closer. See? Hello. Right, yes, hello, everyone. Thank you, no spoilers. Right, let me turn this down. Yes, welcome. We are live for the NWA. We know what we're going to be seeing this week. It's going to be a recap of the rebirth of NWA. So we're going all the way back to 2017. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be nice, actually, to watch that rebirth. We've seen a lot of, like, the pay-per-view shows, and we've gone all the way back, kind of through, like, the recent history. So, as I said, it's going to be quite nice to actually go all the way back to the rebirth. It's only 2017, so I don't want people thinking we're going all the way back to the 1940s. That's not what we're going to be doing. We are just going back to, when Mr. Corgan took over. So I know that £10 a podcast, we're just talking about the fact that this was a part of the £10 of Gold series. But it is going to be nice to kind of sit down and watch it with some of you guys. So, shout out to all of you. Monica King says, hi Days, how are you? I am good, thank you. I am just drowning in stuff. There's so much going on. There is so much going on that I'm just like, because straight after this, I'm going to be recording Wrestling Escape Pod. So I'm going to be going straight into doing the recordings for that. So I've just been trying to get some notes together for that, which is why I was a little bit late for this. As well as that, you might remember last week during the NWA stream, we had a bit of a wobble. We had a bit of a problem because YouTube seemed to think it had detected something. As a result, the stream ended. I can tell you, I've gone back and watched that stream. There is nothing wrong with it. Obviously, we never show any footage. And you couldn't even hear any audio. I went back and listened and watched it. I can still see it behind the scenes. So I'm confused, to be honest. I know that the software can make mistakes. And they actually said that if you think a mistake has been made, then you can appeal. But I couldn't be... to be honest, there was no point appealing because it was done. I mean, if you joined us live... then, at least you saw the watch along. Just unfortunately, it wasn't there for anyone that wasn't able to join us live. So, yeah, really disappointed that got taken down last week. Not the NWA's fault. Let's get that out there. Let's make that absolutely clear. Nothing to do with the NWA. This was all to do with YouTube and YouTube software. So, it's one of those things. But we're back. What it did inspire me to do is actually buy some headphones. So I've actually gone out and bought some headphones. So when we're going to watch this show tonight, I am going to actually put the headphones on, which means that I'm going to be able to hear the commentary and what's being said clearer than I've ever heard before, because I always have to have the sound turned down. So yeah, this is going to be quite interesting for me. I'm really up for this. So, yes, look, there's loads going on. Johnny Ace says, Camille got her makeup done. It was funny. I have heard that video is very, very good. If you're a fan of the NWA, which I'm guessing you are, otherwise why would you be here? Yes, Camille did another makeup video. And apparently it is a lot of fun. It is very, very funny. So check that out. Coaster Maniacs says, never trust a maniac. Said I wasn't going to do it, but I did. Time for some daily dose of days. Shout out to you, Coaster Maniacs. I know that Coaster Maniacs interview is coming up with the insiders. So very much looking forward to that. Days with headphones. Fancy days with new headphones. Wow, the headphones are over. Clearly the headphones are over. So that's good to see. First time ever. To be honest, yeah, I can't remember ever doing a watch-along where I've put headphones on. And the only thing I can think that we did different last week, the only thing was that I had to have the sound turned up just a little bit louder than I normally would. Because, of course, last week was all about Camille speaking for the first time. So I kind of need to know what she's saying. So it was turned up a little bit, but you couldn't hear it. I just don't know. But anyway, it's inspired me to go out and buy some headphones, and that's exactly what I've done. Shout out to Anna Dawes, Project WCW. If you haven't been watching since WPC took control, you will enjoy tonight's show. Some great stuff around the Aldis introduction to the Corgan era, involving many different independent promotions. So shout out to Project WCW. Big fan of what they're doing over on Twitter. And yeah, I've seen bits of this. I mean, I've seen a good chunk of the £10 of Gold series, but to be honest, I can't remember what I've seen. What I feel like I've seen a lot of this, but of course, that was me just trying to catch up with NWA stuff on my own. We've certainly never done a watch-along on it. I know a lot of you probably have not had time to go back and watch that £10 of Gold series. So I kind of like these shows because I think it gives you a newfound appreciation for, you know, the foundations that were laid. So I think this was important that we do watch these kinds of shows. Not just the big pay-per-views, you know. They're amazing. But as we said, we've watched them all now. Like, they've given them to us for free. And so we've seen NWA 70. We've seen the Crockett Cup. We've seen the pop-up event. So now, you know, they're starting to really dig into that £10 of Gold series. And I've got no problems with that. You know, it's a journey that they've been on since 2017. And it's a journey that a lot of us won't have seen. So, yeah, good stuff, man. Big boy Dally is late. Make him stand in the corner, says Anna. Project WCW says, never thought I'd see Aldis rock up to a certain independent promotion famous for death matches. We will see that tonight. It's very good. Aiden says, Carol Baskin killed her husband. Breaking news. Dave in Real Life says, I've watched some, especially the Tim Storm Mountaintop ones. Chalmers says, random question. What wrestling t-shirt do you treasure the most? That is a great question. Let me know. What wrestling t-shirt do you treasure the most? Do you know what? I'd love, that's a great question. And I'm sure that you guys have got some great answers. I can't quite think off the top of my head what t-shirt I treasure the most. I would love it if I had like a t-shirt from the 90s that I've had like for a long time that I loved, but I never really got wrestling t-shirts as a kid. Isn't that weird? Or even in my teens. I don't know why. I never got them. In fairness, I haven't really gone out and bought a load in recent years. So I suppose the one I love might be the American-made Hulk Hogan one. I remember when I went to Florida at the end of 2018, that was one shirt that I was desperate to get my hands on. The American-made, all white with American-made Hulk Hogan. I've got as well the figure somewhere. In fact, it's right here. It's right here. Let me show you. Right over here. Boom. Look at this. Do you know what? I don't even know if we've ever shown this figure on stream before. I know it's not NWA related, but I'm sure you'll forgive me for a second. But there, look, Hulk Hogan. I think this is around 1985 that this is based on. Hogan not wearing yellow and red, but actually wearing blue and white. And it was, you know, we all go through phases. This was a phase that he went through. But how cool is that this was during Hulkamania? This wasn't like before Hulkamania. This was like, I think just before WrestleMania or around WrestleMania time, WrestleMania 1. So, yeah, American made. That shirt right there. They actually sell that shirt at the Hogan Beach Shop in Orlando, Florida. And it was one of the items when I went to America that I really, really wanted to get my hands on. And I went to the beach shop and I actually did get my hands on an American-made shirt. So, yeah, I really do love that. Although, just to bring it back to NWA, I genuinely love this as well. Genuinely, this is one of my favourite shirts. It's why I don't actually wear it all that often, because this is the kind of thing I would totally wear out. If I was going to the pub or something, or meeting up with some friends, I would totally wear this. So, yeah, I really like it. I really like yellow and orange and those kind of colours. I'd say that's like my favourite colour. So this, with that, on like a black background, and plus also what it symbolises, the NWA that we all know and love, the history of the NWA, but also the fact that it's still one of my favourite promotions right now. Yeah, I love this shirt. I genuinely love this shirt. So there we go, love it. Miss Clown 1 says, I actually rewatched your Hogan Beat Shop video today. Boom, well there you go. You'll know that I picked up that American-made shirt. I also got to go into the back area to try it on. And clearly that's an area that people don't ever go in because it was messy, let me tell you. But if you've seen that video, then you'll know. Dave's pretending that he has got friends again. I know, yeah. One day I will get friends, and one day I will go for a drink, and when I do, I'm gonna wear this shirt, okay? So, one day. Jacob B. Snow, WWE fan, says, Days, the Man in the Woods story, Bray said that the Fiend was dragging an alligator across the beach line he was talking about were going rabbit hunting with a slingshot. Yes. Cool. LSW says, Days, what is NWA showing tonight? It's you can see from the thumbnail, it is the rebirth, the modern era rebirth of the NWA. So it's going to be quite interesting. As we said, this is going to be a look back to 2017 when the NWA was bought out by Mr. Corgan, and, you know, kind of really started to change direction. If Mr. Corgan hadn't have bought the NWA in 2017, then we probably wouldn't have Powerrr now. And certainly we wouldn't have, like, the Question Mark and Thunder Rosa and all these superstars together that we know and love right now. You know, Camille, and how great was that? How great was that? I know I did a video on it because I just couldn't not talk about it, but that Camille episode last week was fire. Absolute fire. So excited for what they're going to do when things get up and running again. So excited. So, yeah, I loved that episode. I would love it. I don't know if there's any way that they could do it, but I think the NWA would do really well to kind of use this time to put a spotlight on each individual wrestler. So, like, next week, could we do a Question Mark profile? Could Question Mark record some new stuff for us from home? I know the Question Mark at the moment is showing us around Monrovia, and he's doing a little series with Aron Stevens. You know, could that be advertised? Could it help the Question Mark? Could it help Aron Stevens and their Twitter profiles? Maybe it would just point people in that direction, but they could create some new content, and then we get to look at, like, the Question Mark's debut, a little bit of the story of the Question Mark, maybe a few little teasers as to what the future might hold, maybe some karate lessons could be included in there. I reckon you could get, with old footage and new footage, a great hour out of, like, Question Mark. And then the week after, why not do an hour on Zicky Dice? And we do a whole profile on Zicky Dice. Zicky Dice is so active on social media that he would love. I already know he would love to do some new content for that. You know, imagine everyone sitting down on a Tuesday watching a special on Zicky Dice and then do one on Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is smashing out YouTube content at the moment. Some really great stuff with her and Joe Galley. You know, she is super active. I saw that she sent a tweet out earlier thanking everyone that had been buying her merch. And of course, it's so important to do that right now because these superstars are just sat at home, like, not wrestling. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're trained fighters. They're trained wrestlers that can't fight and can't wrestle. Like, that must be hard. That must be so difficult. That would be like, I mean, that's like me. I do, like, watch-alongs all the time. We do streams all the time. I do YouTube videos all the time. I don't know what I would do if YouTube went down for, like, 3 months. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know. So, I mean, like, I can't even begin to get my head around how difficult that's got to be for the talent that's out there, you know, for the superstars that are out there that work and focus on their gimmicks and their brands and the storylines and building everything up and their merch, and then all of a sudden it's all just pulled away. So, yeah, I think it'd be really cool, man. Do a special spotlight each week. We don't know when we're going to get back to NWA, so like having like live shows and doing audience shows and Powerrr episodes and things along those lines. So I just think that would be a good use of the time. Yes, they can keep showing us this stuff, and yes, it's perfectly fine. No quibbles from me, but might just keep the new superstars in people's minds. Plus, also the great thing as well is that people will watch a clip, an hour-long video about question mark whenever. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can always watch a profile on the question mark. You can always watch a profile on Zicky Dice. They call it evergreen content. Like, it doesn't age. Like, it's gonna work at any point, at any time. So I would go that way. Days, I changed the pitch to the hackers' voices, and they are all Xavier Woods. Not sure. I've heard Chad Gable 100%, and I've heard Ali 100% in the two that were on SmackDown. The two that are on Twitter, those ones are Xavier Woods. But I personally still believe that Chad Gable and Ali have also been involved. Shout out, who is your favourite wrestler? And who would you like to see them feud with? Well, legitimately, favourite wrestlers. I'm a big fan of Asuka in WWE. She makes me laugh. She entertains me. Not just with how great her wrestling is, and I do believe her to be one of the best female wrestlers WWE have ever had, but just her promos are so funny now, and her mannerisms, and when she's on commentary and when she's doing interviews, she just shines. She just constantly shines, in my opinion. So, big fan of what Asuka's been doing. In regards to like NWA, I've always been a fan of Thunder Rosa. I think Thunder Rosa legit is a fantastic superstar. I think she's very hard hitting in the ring. I think I would like for her character to really embrace that mystique and that mystery. I've said this quite a few times, but when she first arrived and the drums, yeah, and the way that she would like move, and then like she'd like slide in the ring and she'd just wait there and you didn't know what she was going to do. And obviously the face paint as well. And there was just so many aspects about her when she first arrived and her character that just grabbed me. It was like, as I've said many times, it was like Papa Shango. Had like this voodoo vibe and you didn't quite know what she was thinking and all this kind of stuff. And then she started to like hang around with Melina, which I never really understood. And like, I'm kind of glad that's kind of, you know, we're moving away from that now. It wasn't bad. I'm not down on it, but I think I'd just like to go back to some of that mystery and maybe explore some of that a little bit more. I think that could be a lot of fun. But yeah, I think that she has been an absolute breath of fresh air in the women's division, and I've made no secret about the fact that one of my absolute dream matches in all of wrestling, or not just NWA, all of wrestling, would be Thunder Rosa versus Camille. That's a match that I've thought about, since we saw Thunder Rosa and since we saw Camille. Those two, for me, have always really shone and really stood out. And I've always thought, man, imagine if they collide. And then, of course, Camille finally getting in the ring, finally having a match. And then that vignette last week, it's just like, can we do the match yet? Is it time? Come on. How much? So, yeah, I'm desperate for that match. So, but I think that Aron Stevens is very funny. I'm a big fan of Aron Stevens. And I think, looking at, I don't want to just name wrestlers. Do you know what I mean? I could sit here and just go, this guy's great, that girl's great, this person's great. I want to give you a proper answer, and I'm trying to do that. But how can you not mention Nick Aldis and what we've seen from Nick Aldis? I mean, seeing that match against Marty at Crockett Cup from last year, it's one of the best matches I've seen. Like, it was one of the best matches I saw from in a long time, and certainly I would be putting that in my top 10 of 2019. So, how can you not include the real world's champ? Try again. I didn't notice that. Why does it say don't subscribe below? Because I think we've got enough. I think we've got enough, Callan Corner. I'm not going to do what all these other YouTubers do. I'm not going to be shouting out saying subscribe. I've given up. I think we've got enough. I think we're full. I think the house is now full. So, no more subscribing. Frankie651 says shout out. Shout out to you, Frankie651. Shout out to Frankie's12650 as well. Who is your favourite wrestler? Oh, shit, I did that one. I'm just chilling, sitting on the same messages, but you get a shout out again. Eric Haberman says, Days, did you hear that Cain Velasquez has gone from WWE? Yeah, real shame. He obviously had an injury at Saudi Arabia, which meant that he could only have like a match that was 2 minutes long. Literally, that was the reason for it. I still really enjoyed that match because it was hard. I love hard-hitting wrestling. Not hardcore, but like wrestling where it's like, do you know what I mean? They're really laying into each other. I like Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody and, do you know what I mean? Those kind of like proper, just really getting stuck in. So I love Brock. I've always been a Brock fan. I just wish he defended the title more. But, yeah, I like Brock. I like Ronda. It's why I like Thunder Rosa as well. This hard-hitting style. Cain Velasquez absolutely fell into that bracket. So I'm really disappointed he's gone. I'm genuinely disappointed that he's gone because I really think that we just never even saw anything to, He was doing lucha stuff down in AAA in Mexico. He was doing, like, hurricanranas and things along those lines. Honestly, hurricanranas. Right, my friends. That superpower is going to come in May. The superpower drop. Oh, this is quite loud. I forgot to get the headphones. Oh! Hang on. Okay. Wow. Yes. So don't know how to use headphones. That was loud, baby. That was loud. Is this live? No, nothing's live right now. I don't know how loud I'm gonna have to do something like this, aren't I? Here we go. Look, it's not gonna stay on. In October, how loud am I? In October, I can't even read before it changes. We hit the milestone of 200,000. I can't even read. Headphones is not working out for me. Who's this kid? Who's this little voice? Who's this? Is this Tim Storm's voice? I'm a kid at heart. Who's this child? What's going on? This is my dream. Is that what Tim Storm sounds like? If they don't know my name, it doesn't change what's in my heart. What am I watching? Yes. They should definitely do that. Oh my God, why has no one ever done that? Why has no one ever got a child to actually do promos but use the real wrestler footage? So you could have the real wrestler footage, like Macho Man. Well, I tell you something, all this and he's going off. Oh, yeah. But actually get a baby to do it. Get a child to do it. Oh, that'd be gold, baby. NWA, if you're watching, you can have that for free. Have that for free. Make it rain. Making moves, making anybody move. Right, we've got an aeroplane. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion. The original Shield shirt. Yeah, that was cool, man. Shout out to Imtiaz. Shout out to Dave in real life. Days, if you hook up the Bray Wyatt Wikipedia page, him and his family, and in the background, it looked like the same woods where the cabin was, and I was shocked. James says, Raw 1.86 million. I knew it'd be bad. That's well under 2 million. Not just under 2 million, well under. Oh, we just saw Jungle Boy. There's Joey Ryan as well. This is Tim Storm arriving. Tim Storm, whilst not a household name, has been wrestling for over 20 years. Yeah, he's a legend, isn't he? I'm really impressed with Tim Storm. Reigning, defending NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. He comes across like such a great guy as well. Oldest man to ever hold the championship. And he's got such a young voice as well. My name is Tim Storm. Right, they're just saying that he is going to be championship wrestling in Hollywood. There's Joe Galley. Eric Derishi says, Days, I'm back and I am better than ever. Shout out to you, Eric. Hello to Jody. This is like Wrestling Days Here's for the first time. It totally is. That's Sam Shaw on the intro voice. Yes, you're right. You're right. You're right. £10 a podcast. You're absolutely right. The person that's doing the voiceover is Dexter Loomis from NXT. Dexter Loomis. So if you wanted to know what he sounds like, Tim Storm says he still gets chills. Tim says, this is my mountaintop. Of course it is. Of course it is. That's the same belt that was held by the likes of Harley Race and Ric Flair and the Funks. It's really cool, isn't it? It's a really great little series, this. Tim Storm has never been on a national stage. Well, I mean, look, he's got that platform now, hasn't he? I mean, I've got a Mama Storm shirt, so he's not on a national stage. He's on an international stage now, which is absolutely incredible. That's the power of YouTube. That is the power of YouTube. Days, did you position the headphones like that? Did I position the headphones like... I don't know what you mean. Orlando, shout out to you. Tim Storm versus Zicky Dice before he became outlandish. Here's Tim Storm looking a lovely suit. Lovely suit. I might start doing headphones like this, because that way I feel like I can still hear how loud I am, and someone might mistake me as a DJ. I feel like I'm doing the Nasty Boys intro music. Right, Tim Storm getting into the ring. I swear I just saw a guy that looks like Paul Bearer standing behind. He wasn't actually Paul Bearer, but he looked like Paul Bearer. He was a Paul Bearer cosplayer standing behind the commentators. Shout out to Wrestling Days fam. Sam Shaw voice a few weeks ago. He also drew the Aldis logo, which you'll see soon, and the champ still wears it on his ring gear. Well, the champ has been in the chat, hasn't he, saying that Sam was his best man at his wedding. So they've got a really great relationship. Some lovely facts being dropped in the chat today. Lovely facts. Great work, everyone. Tim Storm just having a chat with Marquez. Marquez saying, tell everyone, what does it mean to be the man? Big smile on his face. And they're just talking about 53 men had held that belt before Tim Storm. That's not many, is it? Considering it'd been going since the early 40s. I think it goes back further than that. Oh, we're getting some names mentioned now. Dusty Rhodes. The Funks. Jack Briscoe. AJ Styles. Hey, do you know something I got? Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to find it now. I was thrilled, I tell you. I was thrilled, but I bet I won't be able to find it. Or is it this? Oh, I have found it. Hey, do you remember I've said many times I'm really into signed cards. I love signed top cards. Check this out. Dory Funk Jr., one of the men that has been NWA champion. Dory Funk Jr., that is his actual autograph. Says right there, look, you now own an authentic Dory Funk Jr. card. Congratulations. How many is there? There was 99, and I've got number 85. So there we go. Dory Funk Jr. signed card. So if anyone ever goes, oh, I bet he doesn't really like wrestling. Yes, I do actually. I've got a signed Dory Funk Jr. card, and that's my proof. So there we go. That's a WWE legend card. He is a legend. An absolute legend. I just thought someone might enjoy it. Not all of you, just someone might enjoy seeing that. Oh, Eric. Oh, man, look at this history. Oh, give me the history, baby. Give me the history, baby. Eric Derishi says, what's the belt that the Remco AWA figures came out with back in the 1980s? Was it the NWA title? It kind of looked like it. I think it was based on it, but I don't think it actually was. Have a look. AWA Remco. AWA Remco. It does look a lot like the £10 gold, but I've got a feeling, something in my head is telling me there is differences, but now I can't find a great picture of it. Tim Storm, just popping home. Are we going to see Mama Storm? Are we going to see the myth, the legend? Yeah, it does look like the £10 of gold, but I've got an image here, and you can see that it doesn't quite have the detail. You can see it's definitely based on it. Let me entertain you, said Robbie Williams. Let me show you that image. So. Is he trained by Sean? Dark Circle, Tim's. He looks. Look at that. Is that Mama Storm? Is that Mama Storm? Mama Storm! Mama Storm! Dr. Sally. Here you go, look, that's the AWA Remco figure that someone was asking about. You can see how it looks exactly like the £10 of gold, but you can also see that it's not quite got the detail. So, boom. Right, let's go back. Thanks, I'm just getting into the NWA. Oh, you should, dude. It's amazing. It's amazing. And we're seeing some absolutely awesome stuff here. Dr. Sally, we're just joking, by the way. Dr. Sally was his wife. Dusty Rhodes is Mixing Bowl Emporium says, "Hi babies, come on down today. I've got specials for days." Nice. The first ever match on £10 gold was Tim Storm versus Zicky Dice. We might see it here. Days, did you know that one slice of cheese contains 104 calories? Amazing. Days, Cody is doing a Q&A on Instagram. Good for him. Tim Storm just being very honest about the fact that he was not physically ready for, you know, what was what he needed to do. Can I just say, this is totally up my street. Look, we're just seeing, like, Harley race. Days, WWE has named Roddy Piper the greatest heel of all time. When I wear headphones and need to hear from one ear, I wear them regular, but just tuck it behind my ear. Yes, but I'm cooler than you. Lots of good Houston footage. Dan Severn, the former UFC star and WWE wrestler before, won the £10 gold. He did. He did. Good knowledge. Great knowledge. This is really great. I mean, we was talking before about doing like superstar profiles, and that's kind of what this is. This is a profile all on Tim Storm. You know, you're seeing the history of him carrying the £10 gold. You see how important the £10 of gold is. There's going to be a lot of people that don't know the history of that belt, and certainly on these watch-alongs, and I know on like £10 podcast and everything, we're constantly talking about how far back the lineage goes. You know, we talk about Ric Flair, we talk about Dusty Rhodes. It's just really great to kind of show that footage. And that's exactly what we've seen. Liam says, "What's up, Days? I've got a big problem. My whole street has got a power cut. We won't have power till tomorrow. I'm having to watch this on my 4G until it runs out." Dude, I'm really sorry to hear that. Really sorry to hear that. I wish we were getting NWA power today. Callan Corner says, "Haha, the lie detector test determined that was a lie." Tim Storm is here and he is ready to rumble. Let's get ready, let's get ready, let's get ready to rumble. There's a guy in the front row that's wearing a Where's Wally t-shirt, by the way. Fun fact. Fun freaking fact. Zicky Dice in the ring says, "Project WCW." Look at that. That's incredible, isn't it? That is mind-blowing. How Zicky Dice has been able to transform himself from this to what we see now is absolutely incredible. Also, bonus points if you can find Waldo. Sonny Wolf says, "I'm back. The internet keeps being stupid." Stupid internet. The first NWA champ was Luthez. Days, any other signed tops you would like? Yeah, it's just an ongoing collection, Miss Clown One. It's just an ongoing collection. I'm just trying to get as many as I can, really. I only want to get one for each wrestler. And I'm just kind of building it up, so... Yeah, plenty. I would love it if the NWA did, like, signed trading cards. That would be amazing. I love signed stuff. I don't know if you heard, but I actually bought... Legitimately, I bought the Boneyard. You know the Boneyard match at WrestleMania that's The Undertaker versus AJ Styles? They're selling plaques now where you can buy some of the actual dirt from the set. And I bought it. I had to. I love, like, autographs and I love bits of ring and I love those kind of things. So to own part of the set from the Boneyard match, I'm not passing that up. So, yeah, totally bought some dirt. They call me the dirt buyer. Lovely work by Tim. who goes for the cover on Zicky. Moda, shout out to you. Ethan says, are these episodes on YouTube? They're all on YouTube. You've got Powerrr. You've got 10 pounds of gold. There's so much stuff for you to jump into. And then, of course, you've got all of the NWA stars that have got their own YouTube channels, like Camille, like Thunder Rosa. Perfect Storm, 2, 3. Nice, easy day work. How great would it be to have gone to that? Chairs look comfortable. But you get to see the NWA Wrestling Champ in a little venue. It kind of reminds me in a way of Powerrr. Here comes Mr. Aldis. Here we go. Champ over here. This is like how it all began. We're watching the rebirth. My name is Nick Aldis, and I don't believe in wasting time. Eric Haberman says, Zicky Dice has a Jeff Jarrett vibe. Nick Aldis saying that he's held many championships. Can you guess which one I want next? Nick Aldis says he wants that lineage to join his legacy. Can you hear the words that are being spoken? Yeah? Words that don't get spoken in WWE for whatever reason. I mean, you never hear people talking about their legacy. You never hear people talking about the title lineage. You know, these just aren't words that get used in WWE. WWE is all about the here and the now. They don't want you to really focus on history. There's very rare occasions where they will touch on the history, which is, you know, what Bray has been doing a lot of. He's been going back, getting redemption. NWA is all about the history. The first word I hear when I put it back on is Mr. Corgan using the word history. Legacy! He just said the word legacy! We might as well start playing NWA bingo. We might as well just get some cards that say legend, legacy, lineage, Ric Flair, Harley Race, and then when they do them, we tick them off. Then more footage of there's Ric Flair, there's Tim Storm. Just saw Harley Race as well. What are 3 letters worth? William Patrick Corgan is not a stranger to Nashville, Tennessee. Billy Corgan! I mean, in all fairness, you would be that way, wouldn't you? I've seen clips of this. I've seen this bit before. He's talking about growing up in the 70s. That's the Country Music Hall of Fame. How great is this, man? How great. He says music worked out okay, and his other passion was wrestling. And, well, on behalf of the NWA fans, that's working out okay as well, Mr. Corgan. You're doing an awesome job. Is Kim Jong-un still alive? It's Marcus. Thank you for coming here with that question. Because this is exactly, out of all of the different news sources you could have come to, this is exactly the right place. Kim Jong-un is still alive. He is. I can confirm he is still alive. He just had a cheeky weekend. Do you know what I mean? He just had a cheeky weekend. Phone was ringing. He was like, Kim Jong-un. Didn't want to deal with it. We all have weekends like that. But he's absolutely fine. He's loving life. His sister's great. Yes, it is working out okay, says £10 podcast. LSW, shout out to you. Big Boy Dally says, Days, when will the next escape pod be? What is the topic? It's always Friday after SmackDown. This week's topic is funniest moments, and actually I will be recording that episode and next week's episode straight after we finish this stream. I have one I want to send. I don't know if you have it. I might do. I've got quite a few. Feel free to let me know what it is on Twitter, dude. Sam Shaw on commentary. Is Sam Shaw on commentary? Yeah, a.k.a. Dexter Loomis. Crazy starey eye man. This is great. Look, we're seeing some really old footage. Was that Killer Kowalski? I was getting, definitely in the few seconds I saw there, I was getting Killer Kowalski vibes. Jim Cornette, Magnum TA, Rock and Roll Express, Dusty Rhodes. Funky like a monkey. Daydreamer Pictures says, super chat for Kim Young. Yes. Kim Young, if you're watching, stay safe, brother. Stay safe. Oh, and also, be better. Today is Drew Gulak's birthday. Breaking news. Nacho Black says, out of all of the current champs, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Adam Cole, Nick Aldis, who is the ultimate champ? I think it's between Adam Cole and Nick Aldis. I would agree. I would agree. And I would even include Moxley in that. And you could throw Naito in as well from New Japan. In fact, I think it would be a three-way. I think Naito, Aldis, Adam Cole, triple threat. Let's book it. Why are we messing around? Let's just book it. Is that Tony Atlas and Harley Race? When you look at a champion, it's not just someone that's holding a piece of metal. It's the best in the business. It's very true. Very, very true. Ozzy says, evening days, possible watch along for Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 12, NOLA. I was there. Went head-to-head with TakeOver NOLA. Brilliant card. Scurll versus Castle. Yeah, there's definitely potential for that. Omega versus Cody. SCU versus Young Bucks. Briscoes versus Tanahashi and Lethal. Ibushi versus Hangman. Punishment Martinez versus Ishii. Yes, there's definitely potential for that. It sounds like a great card. I'm not sure where we can shoehorn it in, because on Wednesday we've got NXT and AEW. On Thursday we've got Royal Rumble 2000. Friday we got SmackDown. Maybe the weekend? Have a look at it. Eric Haberman says, I can't wait for the NWA new show. I miss them being live. I love the NWA. So, we're just building up. This is how we're building up towards Aldis versus Storm. He's not from King's Lynn. He's from Dockham. Debut match appearance at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. So, would this class as his first NWA appearance? Are we watching Nick Aldis' first NWA appearance? Days, make a news site. No, I'm busy enough. So, here we go. Who's he facing? I don't know who he's facing. thought that was Darren Young for a second then. Can you watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood anywhere? Is it on like Fight, or has it got its own YouTube channel or anything? How often does it run? I really don't know much about Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, but I like the set. It looks awesome. It does have power vibes, you know. Studio Wrestling. Thanks, Miss Clown One. The Super Nintendo Top 10 Tournament. You can watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood on Fight. There we go. I still haven't really explored through that Fight app, and I really should, because I think there'd be some really good stuff on there that I would enjoy. I think it's on Fight. It also runs on NESN in New England. I don't know what New England is. I prefer the original. The original's better. Shoulder charge by Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis going against the ropes. Spine buster. He has to pop back up, get into the corner. Clothesline into the corner. They're on YouTube as well, says Amanda Catherine. 1, 2. Just a 2. No. Got to do a bit more than that. Is Orange Santa there, asks Eric Haberman. I don't think so. This is, I mean, if this is Hollywood, that would be LA, which would be on a completely different side of the United States to where Powerrr is recorded. Powerrr is recorded in Atlanta, which is more East Coast, whereas Hollywood would be more West Coast. If you need to know anything about USA geography, yeah, Florida's down the bottom, New York's near the top. No one knows where Ohio is, right? Not even people that live there. Texas in the middle. I know it all. I know it all, baby. Orange Santa is not there. I'll be at a few of these matches coming up. Ooh. Hasib says you can watch it in the UK on Showcase on Sky 192. Moda, shout out to you, says, where can I go back to watch 2017 NWA content from the relaunch going forward to today? I know I can view 2019 to today. Maybe Adam the Stash Rotella can help me out. Well, Adam definitely can point you into better directions than what I can say out loud, but the YouTube channel is going to have the £10 of gold series, which follows the journey of the rebirth. So that's pretty much what you're watching right now. This is 2017. So that £10 of gold series is going to have everything. If you, obviously there was no NWA show. NWA has always been a collection of other shows, other promotions. One of those promotions being Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. So you would have to go back and watch old Championship Wrestling from Hollywood shows. But other shows as well. Other different promotions that the stars will have been on and the belt would have been defended at. So there's not one show. There's not like a Powerrr that's run all the way back to the 1940s. The NWA has always been a collection. So £10 of gold is what you need to watch to really see the story. But if you really want to get stuck in, then you've got to start watching Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and other promotions. But as I said, you know, Project WCW and £10 of podcasts should be able to point you in directions that you need to go. Shout out to you, Moda. Well done to Mr. Aldis, who picks up the victory. Was it a clover leaf? I was chatting away. I was a rambling rabbit. Geography lessons by Days. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Here we go. He says, everything went perfect apart from one thing. Tim Storm is being a little bit quiet. Tim. Whoa, that's a great line. You're not verified, so I can't check anyway if there's anything wrong with your Instagram or with your Facebook. He's verified by life. How great is this? This is Tim at school. I've said this before. Can you imagine? Tim Storm is an actual teacher. Could you imagine if Tim Storm... Could you imagine if the NWA World Wrestling Champion taught you history or maths or whatever he teaches? How would you even begin to pay attention? Days. Yeah, quick question. Have you ever met Harley Race? That's not what we're here for, Dave. Okay, yeah, sorry. Days. Yeah. Another question. Have you ever met Ric Flair? That would be it for like my whole school career. The roads between us. Is this going to be a song? I hope so. Someone needs to write a song called The Roads Between Us. Here he is. Look, Tim Storm working out. Shout out to you, William Hensey. Tim Storm gave me detention for marking out for Josephus. Moda says, I'm going to try Project WCW. I watched the old NWA with Dusty, Flair, etc. Yes, Project WCW is a great place to go for the old articles, and they can certainly point you in the directions you need to go. Mr. Aldis says that he was discovered whilst he was doing Gladiators here in the UK. I never actually saw that series. Nick Aldis teamed with Samoa Joe and had matches against the likes of Sting, which I've never seen. I've never seen that either. He said he allowed himself 24 hours to enjoy that success. So we've kind of, the first part was us getting that backstory on Tim Storm. Now we're kind of really getting the backstory with Mr. Aldis. And I'm guessing there's going to be a collision. Well, I already know there is. And you do as well. We all know. Still makes it very exciting though. I do like what he's saying there. He's saying that you can hold it for however long you want, but whilst it's yours, it's your responsibility. You have got to retain the value in that championship. So there is a real pressure on the shoulders of the champion. Tim Storm is awesome, says Sean Reset. Tim Storm is a cheat. Okay. Says Michael. His confidence is sometimes mistaken for arrogance. I suffer from that as well. The people that have figured out how to do this right don't always want to share that information. That could be used in life, couldn't it? In many different fields. I tell you what, it's an absolute revolution hearing things. Honestly, it's an absolute revolution. Shout out Imtiaz. Hope you are well. Diz Salah 11. Shout out to you. Project WCW says, I caught Aldis's first UK appearance with the NWA strap in Newcastle with the 5-star wrestling. What a car crash. That'd make a really fun video. He was booked in a handicap match with Damo O'Connor against a small Scottish wrestler. I'd love it if he comes back over with the belt. I'd love to watch him in action here in the UK. If he ever comes over with the belt, I'm definitely going to go. Definitely going to go. Oh, there we go. Look, breaking news. Tim Storm taught science for 5 years. And now he's a history teacher. Yeah, that's what I would be like, Tim. I've got to trick them into learning. How do you trick people into learning? Is it things like, so World War II, the evil German Nick Aldis started a war, and no, huh? Nick Aldis? I'm joking, it was Hitler. Tim, if you're watching, you can use that as a teaching tip. Tim has been around a long time. I find this really interesting. I love this kind of stuff. Jim Gore, shout out to you. Days, what do you think of Sam Shaw so far? I think it's amazing. Brilliant. I think a really refreshing, very, very interesting addition. I never saw him as Sam Shaw. I've only seen him wrestle a few times on NWA, but the Dexter Loomis character is so good. Nick Aldis's match against Sting at Bound for Glory is not a good match. Okay. Still very cool to stand in the ring with Sting. Was that Mama Storm? Did we see Mama Storm? Was that Mama Storm on the floor? Was Mama Storm on the floor? Was that Mama Storm? I like that from Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis says that everything I do for my kid. But what I do in the ring, I do for me. That's really refreshing. Do you know what I mean? Man, this is so good. The way this is so good. If anyone was in any doubt, this is really good. Tim says someone's got to beat me. Do they, Tim? Do they? Days, why'd you keep ignoring me? I'm not, but shout out to you. Mr. Lagana says it was not Mama Storm. Ah! God. Breaking news, guys. Breaking news. Days, what's your favourite WrestleMania moment? Hogan, Andre. So, Mr. Aldis says now he is fixated on it. It's very emotional. I can hear the strings. I can hear the music in the background. It's like the end of Titanic. Here we go. Who, where, when, why. 12th of November, 2017. Make sure you're there, guys. Storm versus Aldis. 12th of November, 2017. There's Thez, Flair, Harley. Days, rumours are that WWE are in negotiations to be sold to Fox or ESPN or maybe both. There's been a few little rumours like that, yeah. Disney was another one that was being rumoured. It's Go Time. That's another good song title. I can confirm that Mama Storm is the SmackDown hacker. The truth will be heard. There we go. Breaking news. Mama Storm is the SmackDown hacker. Whoa. Well, hey, look, can we just talk about how much coverage that has generated? How much excitement there is over that. Who is it? That's a big thing in wrestling, isn't it? Who is it? And fans theorizing and coming up with their own theories and thoughts. Maybe someone could get attacked in the NWA, and then we're all like, who is it? Who did it? Although I feel like that's a storyline that's been done many, many times. We've got quite a lot of that happening at the moment, in all fairness. We've got a van of luchas on NXT. Just luchas that are like stealing people, and we still don't know who that is. Although we kind of do. And it's really hard to compete with a van of luchas. Very, very difficult. Mr. Storm says that he's normally the fittest guy in the locker room. It's always good to think highly of yourself. And he's also normally the oldest guy in the locker room as well. I love this, though. Watching him working out, like doing the work, putting the effort in. He's in such great shape. He looks great. Days, I think Velveteen Dream is going to be buried tomorrow. Same with Mr. Aldis as well. Working out, putting the work in. We are on a collision course. Shout out to Famous KJ. If Fox buys WWE and Disney owns Fox, Stephanie McMahon will be a Disney princess. Amazing. I like this. Mr. Aldis saying he created a picture in his mind of who he wanted to be, and his only fear isn't being a form or anything, it's being mediocre. So he's striving to not let that happen. He does not want to be mediocre. Tim Storm saying he's a very intelligent guy, but I plan on beating him. Are we going to get the match tonight? Because this is like, you know what I mean? I'm ready. I'm ready. Days, what's your thoughts on Gerald Briscoe being released? Apparently he was furloughed. So he's come out and said that he hasn't been released. He's just on temporary leave at the moment and he's hoping to return. So this is why Nick Aldis is the real world's champion, says £10 podcast. Days, considering the power is out, I'm still having a great time watching you eating Haribo. I'm not eating Haribo. So who are you watching? Goldberg next SummerSlam. Days is NXT live tomorrow. I believe so. Days, have you seen new pictures of Aleister Black as a champion on... No. What? That's fan art? I don't get why they're having 25th anniversary stuff about Triple H. Time filler. It's just a good way to put legends onto the show. Have a bit of fun. Everyone loves DX, Triple H, Shawn. Vince coming out was a nice little surprise, even if he was a rambling rabbit. Can we just say how great Sam Shaw is as a voiceover as well? If the whole Dexter Lumis thing doesn't work out, he's going to be a killer voiceover guy. Mr. Aldis says, I beat him on pretty much every level. But Tim says, you're probably not stronger than me. I don't think there's anything that he can do that I've not seen. This is good, man. This is really good. Yes, you will get the match tonight. We don't leave you with blue balls. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, NWA. I really appreciate that. I just want you to know that I really appreciate that. But there we go. Guys, breaking news. You're getting the match. You're going to see the clash between Tim Storm and Nick Aldis. That is coming tonight. I've got the mental advantage. I hate to break it to you, I've got the physical advantage. There was around about 600 people watching the stream on NWA, because again, if you're watching this, you can jump over to NWA. Make sure you subscribe. They're on 199,000 subscribers. Like, they're literally a touching distance away from 200,000. That would be huge. So if you're not subscribed to the NWA, make sure that you jump over and you subscribe to it. I know a lot of you, if not all of you, already are. But if you're sitting there going, I'm not, do it. Help them get to 200,000. But as I said, they've been at about 600 people watching. They're at just over 700 people watching right now. So it shows that people are watching this, enjoying this, sticking with this, wanting to see the match. Who will carry forward? I wonder why Sam Shaw wasn't in the mix. Was it that he left and did other ventures? Looking at what he's become as Dexter Lumis now, could you imagine him in the NWA? Is that the belt in like a red velvet bag? Lovely. Classy. What I meant was I'm watching you whilst I'm eating Haribo. Kinky. This match happens at the dive bar that is CZW. It's gold days. Some of the best content from the NWA is in the 10 pounds of gold. There you go, my friends. If you want to watch more of this journey, like Moda was talking about earlier, 10 pounds of gold. It's all on their channel. Again, we've gone back to the dramatic music. I am loving it. Dun, 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 dun. Drama, drama, drama. What will be around the next curve? Look, you can actually see them both in the ring. That doesn't look like CZW, though. Kenny Jones, shout out to you, my friend. Ring the bell. Have we heard it now? Championship Wrestling at Hollywood. 4 hours until Storm versus Aldis. Also worth a watch. This storyline is outstanding, says TurboCast. These guys lay in the foundation for the future. Totally agree. This is really interesting. Just watching those little conversations between Mr. Corgan and Tim Storm, and Mr. Corgan saying, like, loving that Rolling Stone interview, really putting him over, saying you're doing a great job. Although we are going to be taking the title off you. Although you are losing tonight. Three hours until Storm versus Aldis. Days, I've been watching you since your second video. Amazing. Thank you for the support. Colin says, would Nick Aldis ever join the WWE? I think Mr. Aldis is NWA for life. And it's easy to see why when you watch storylines like this. And do you know what I mean? You look at that. Just look what it means. We've spoken all throughout this stream about the fact that the NWA never talk about legacy. They never talk about history. They never talk about legends. They never talk about the importance of the belts. The belts just get passed around. Like, it doesn't matter. They've said many times, people that have worked at WWE, that belts and championships are props. They're seen as props. They're just put on people to kind of make them people look a bit more important. They're just props. And that kind of comes across in the presentation sometimes. Like, they really don't build up the importance of the championships. You can absolutely not say that about the NWA. They pride themselves, absolutely pride themselves on the legacy, the history. I mean, literally, we've watched so far for 57 minutes a whole backstory on Tim Storm, a whole backstory on Nick Aldis, build towards how we got to this match, and now we're on the cusp of the actual match. Like, that's what we've had this week. It's been brilliant. I don't know that this has even been that good of a watch-along, because I've just kind of been watching and just enjoying. And as I said, I've even seen a good chunk of this before. But if you haven't, I should imagine you are absolutely loving it. Just like our good friend Liam Costa, who sat there just eating Haribo. Mr. Lagana says, honestly, some of the best work I ever did. Yeah. I absolutely agree. Here we go. It's got that dramatic music building up even more. Oh. Up next, from October 20... Was it October? I thought it was November. Superpower. Coming in May. Is it May 1st? Does it drop on May 1st? Tell me it's May 1st. Superpower. Oh, I want to get back to that. Is there no cheers? Oh, there they are. All right, here we go. Mr. Aldis making his way down. So, he is the definition of power and precision. Do you know what? He is the definition of power. Is the definition of NWA power. Aldis versus Tim Storm. He wants to destroy the title reign. Here we go. Get your predictions in. Which way do you think this is going to go? Get your predictions in. There's a guy in the crowd who's got an orange t-shirt on. I just want to draw attention to him because he is not Orange Santa. That is an Orange Santa wannabe. Okay, Mr. Aldis in the ring. Coming out with, they've got entrance music here. Very interesting. I'm just waiting now for Tim Storm. 10 Pounds of Podcast says, I watched this live on social media. Monica King says, I am loving the dramatic music. Joe Galley on commentary. First time in 5 years the NWA Championship has been defended in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. That title is The Lifeblood. Let's try and get a like spike, shall we? On here we go. Like if you are pumped for this match. There we go. Are we ready? Here we go. Boom. 274. They're on 274. Like if you are pumped for this match. I'm pumped for this match. The problem is I've already liked, so I can't drop a like on the stream. So it's still on 274. Come on. Come on. I've got until the comment disappears. It's still on 274. Come on. Oh, I've got to get at least one. I've got to get at least one. Someone's got to be pumped for this match. Come on. I've never not had any likes. Oh, this is a disaster. I'm normally super influential. 274. It's still on 274. Oh, thank God I got two. I got two. Woo! I got two. Still not a great performance. I'm still on screen, technically. Okay, we're up to 4. We're up to 4. 5. It finished on 5. There we go. I've still got influence. Woo! Moda says, I would thought I'd drop a little Moda bomb. I'm using this donation to go and order yourself your favourite adult beverage. Oh, hello, cheeky. And as Bray and the Eagles say, take it easy. The community doesn't want you to burn out. Shout out to you, Moda. I'm going to drop a thank you at the bottom to you, my friend. Thank you, Moda. Right, my friends. We are getting some extra content this week. Yeah, it's shot up now. It is shooting up now, in all fairness. But I'm not sure I can claim those. Don't get me wrong, I will. I am claiming them, but I'm not sure I can technically. 290. I know it has absolutely gone through the roof, but I can't. I don't know. I feel like I'd be cheating if I was to claim them. Days, I liked the NWA stream. Shout out to you, Diz. Monica said I waited for your like spike to like it. Well, that feels like I'm cheating. Don't sit here saying that you're only doing it because you was waiting for me to ask. Okay, here we go. We're underway with Tim Storm versus Nick Aldis. Dave, in real life, Mickey has been injured. She has been injured. Nice. Flip round. Tim Storm down. Mr. Aldis already going for that clover leaf. I tell you what, it's really... I can't talk whilst actually listening to commentators. I'm not used to doing it. I've got people talking in my ears, and it's like, it's really weird. This is like how it must be for Michael Cole on WWE, when he's got Vince in his ear and he's still having to try and talk while someone's talking to him. How can you talk and listen at the same time? How does he do that? Is Mr. Lagana there? Mr. Lagana, is that what they do on NWA as well? Just out of interest. Are the production people speaking to the commentators whilst they are commentating? Is Joe Galley having to do that? Like, actually commentate whilst having the production people talking in his ear? Or are they just left to it? That'd be quite interesting to find out. Get on that, £10 a podcast. Get on that. Get some answers. Days, I like all your streams and videos. I hope you make it to 200,000. I hope that you will. Thank you very much, Rosalind. Really appreciate the support, my friend. Thank you to everyone that joins us on a Tuesday. Genuinely my favourite stream of the week. Just kind of, we never really know what we're going to be seeing. We could just kick back and just have some fun, you know? Just whatever we see, we just talk about, react to, just let loose. We're the kids in America. That's what we are. Days, I'm trying to get inside information from Mr. Lagana. Get on it, Chalmers. Get on it. Eh? Get on it. Or we could just ask Joe Galley. £10 a podcast says, oh, here we go. Mr. Lagana says, yes, I am the voice of God. They listen to me. I'm also going to be in your ear for future streams. I am the puppet master. There we go. How about that? How amazing is that? So during Powerrr, they've got Mr. Lagana in their ears, actually, like, talking through bits and bobs. You never think about that when you watch Powerrr or you watch these kind of shows, that there's people talking to them whilst they're having to talk. That's a real skill. That's a skill that you have to learn, isn't it? That's really interesting. Thank you for letting me know that. Gentleman Jervis wrestling for Championship Wrestling in Hollywood. Did he? I didn't know he wrestled for him. It makes sense. I like Gentleman Jervis. He's cool. He put a video in to try and be Sean Spears' partner. I think that's been put on hold at the moment. Knee to the back by Nick Aldis, and Tim Storm goes to the outside. Mr. Aldis jumping out after him and stomping away. Eric Haberman says, this is awesome. It's great, isn't it? We've had the build, and now we're getting the match. Mr. Aldis is actually in the NWA chat, and I can see that he said that was a blatant closed fist. I love the fact that he's still commenting on injustices from 2017. It's the way it should be. Dace, do you think that Mike Chioda should join NWA? That would be amazing. That would be amazing, yes. Nacho says, I try to come here every Tuesday. I would like to try and make it to all the streams. I really enjoy them. Shout out to you, buddy. Thank you very much. Here we go. Tim Storm in the corner. Kick to the midsection. Forearm strike by Mr. Aldis. Takes down Tim Storm with a kick to the back right between the shoulder blades. And you can see the pain that is etched on the face of Tim Storm as he goes for a chin lock. NWA have said, Mr. Aldis, we will bring your complaints to the board for future sanctions against Mr. Storm. There's some funny bants that goes on a Tuesday. This is why it's my favourite stream. You don't get this on other streams. You've got the current NWA champion complaining about something that happened in 2017. And then you've got the actual promotion responding. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Against the ropes goes Tim. Drop toe takedown. Round the back into a camel clutch. Camel clutch. Camel clutch. Yeah. Tim, though, on his knees. So it's not totally cinched in. So Aldis can't quite bend the back because Tim has managed to get onto his knees. Is your stream from last week with Camille's first match and her speaking going to be available, or is it lost? It's lost, unfortunately. I could try and... I don't know. I think it's gone. It's there. I can watch it. I can see it. But it just won't let me publish it. And I don't know why. Here we go, look. Aldis on the back of Tim Storm. And he's got a sleeper hold back onto Tim Storm again. And he goes down to one knee. Tim Storm in a whole heap of trouble at the moment. Back body drop. Down goes both guys. Best stream of the week. Yeah, so Nick Aldis is the first to move. First to get that shoulder up. I love that line. I love that line. Tim Storm has got more miles in the rear view than he's got in the windshield. It's a good line. Duck underneath by Tim Storm. Double clothesline. Both guys go down. Do you remember how great that match was on the first episode of Powerrr? We actually had, if you've not seen the first episode of Powerrr, maybe you joined the NWA a little bit later into the Powerrr series. Go back to episode 1, because you just should. And the main event was a replay of this. We did have Nick Aldis versus Tim Storm. It's a really good match as well. I'm not sure Camille enjoyed it, but it was a really good match. Here we go, against the ropes. Big boot. Down goes Aldis. Yeah, for the first time. Tim Storm starting to pull ahead a little bit here. He's going up top. High risk, high reward. Comes crashing down onto Nick Aldis. Shoulder up. Shoulder up by Mr. Aldis. Last week's stream was an Oscar-winning performance. Shame that only us that was in the chat got to see it. I love that stream as well. Genuinely, I love that stream. We had so much fun on that stream last week. We have fun every week. Oh! Plants him down. 2. Oh, shoulder up. Wow. How did Tim Storm kick out of that? That was great. That was like a Michinoku driver. MDD. Here we go, he's trying to pick him up again, but Tim Storm takes the legs away, clobbers him on the back of the knee. Mr. Aldis's knee buckling. Tim Storm looking for a figure 4. Lovely work. Oh, if he bridges now into a figure 8, I'm going to lose my mind. Do you imagine Tim Storm bridging into the figure 8? Woo! Styling and profiling. If you're going to do it with flair. Middle of the ring. Nick Aldis. I tell you, this move hurts as well. Hurts. I've never had a grown adult put it on me, but as a kid, when I was wrestling my friends, I'd be put in a figure 4 and it would hurt. So I can only imagine what it's like if Tim Storm puts it on you. There we go. Nick Aldis managing to get out of that, and he's having to crawl over to the corner. Tim Storm going over, stalking Nick Aldis, dragging him back to the middle of the ring, looking for another figure 4. Nick Aldis kicking out, though, as Tim Storm goes shoulder first into the ring post. We're starting to see now this match moving through the gears a little bit more. Both guys have already given quite a bit at this stage. Oh, it's like a deep 6. Deep 6 by Tim Storm. Oh, shoulder up by Nick Aldis. Perfect storm. It was bad positioning, the commentators say. It was really close, that's what it was. Lovely little sequence there with the figure fours into that shoulder spot, into that big side slam. Here we go. We've got Nick Aldis in the corner. Tim Storm going up top. Ooh, firing shots right into the chin. Look at this. Counting along. Nick Aldis. Powerbomb. Buckle bomb. Slams him down. And he's going for a pin. 2. Oh, only just kicks out. Oh, that was so clever. That was so clever by Nick Aldis. That was so clever because he slammed him down and the pin was quite unorthodox. And it looked a little bit like a nonchalant pin. So you're looking at it going, why is he pinning him that way? The reason why he pinned him that way is so that when Tim Storm kicked out, because he thought he might, when he kicks out, he goes right into switching it into the clover leaf. That was such a clever moment from Nick Aldis. There were so many ways that he could have pinned him then, but he pinned him the best way that he could then transition into a clover leaf. Oh, some lovely stuff going on here. Some lovely stuff going on. Eric Haberman, shout out to you. TurboCast says, this match, fire, 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 clap hand, 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 fire, 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 fire. It's very good. Here we go. He's looking for powerbomb. He's trying to pick up Tim Storm. Couldn't get it. Tim Storm walking away. Eric Haberman says, this is a classic in the making. Wrestling Days fan says, is this a replay? It is from 2017. Here we go. Step through. Sharpshooter? No. Little small package. 2. No, gets over to the ropes. Oh, look at how unorthodox that is. He got him. He got him. He got him into this small package. But he was managing to kind of really put all of his weight, the way that he had him. He really did pin him down. He had all of his weight on top of Aldis. Aldis couldn't roll. 1, 2, 3. Tim Storm retains. Wow. Tim Storm retains. And as we said, what a great match. Tim wins. Tim wins. A battle fitting of the legacy. I actually thought that was the one where Nick Aldis wins. I actually thought, 'cause doesn't Josephus get involved? And that's how you go into the Josephus Tim Storm feud. But it's also how Nick Aldis becomes champ. Look at a dejected Nick Aldis. Look, and here's lots of applause. Big smile on his face. This is cool. Thank you, guys. Rough. How are you feeling right now? Rough. I'm going to be honest, real rough. Tim Storm says that was the biggest match of my career to date. How great is this? Seeing an interview done with the fans in the background? Have you got any words for Nick Aldis? You've got my attention. Nick, you might be one of the best in the world. The next one is going to be even rougher. That's how you put your opponent over. Look at that. They're getting pictures with the belt with Mr. Storm. I can't remember Brock Lesnar doing that. Do you remember when Brock Lesnar was champ? I can't remember seeing all these social media pictures of Brock Lesnar posing with the belt with some fans. Here we go. Look, if you like that £10 of gold, you can actually get it from the NWA shop. You can get loads of different things. Pins and signed items. And Superpower. Superpower is on the way. May 2020. NWA says, thanks for watching. Please take time to check out that DVD combo special via the link. Can I just say, I thought that was absolutely brilliant. I honestly loved that. I absolutely loved it. Mr. Aldis says, as you could clearly see, that pinning predicament should have been broken up by the greenhorn referee. So for all of you haters... Oh, it's gone. I think Mr. Aldis has got quite a few problems with a lot of elements of that match. LSW says, what a show! It was great, wasn't it? Really, really good stuff. Project WCW says, great match, great stream, pleasure as always. Good night, guys. Project WCW, thank you so much for your insight throughout tonight. Really love having you as a part of these streams. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Same with all of you. Eric Haberman says, Days, when I got my We Are Power shirt, I got 2 stickers with the shirt. There we go. Breaking news. Little freebie for Eric Haberman. Thank you, Days, for staying with me through the 3 tornadoes that I just drove through. Wow. Did you have one of those machines in the back with lots of little balls in that go up like that film, Twister? Do you remember that? There's all these balls that are like flying around. William, what I'm asking is, are there loads of balls flying around where you are? That's my question to you, William. £10 a podcast says some of the best NWA content. Mr. Lagana asking, should we do something like that again next week? Well, Mr. Lagana, it certainly got my vote. I really enjoyed that content. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So here we go. You can actually speak to Mr. Lagana that puts all of these things together for you guys. Puts that new content out for us to enjoy every Tuesday. Would you like to see more of that? Or I'm sure Mr. Lagana would be open to, you guys sending over your suggestions. Send them over to the NWA. If there's something in particular that you would like them to put onto YouTube that you would enjoy watching, why not get in touch with the NWA? Actually reach out and tweet them, because I know that Mr. Lagana plays a big part with the NWA Twitter account as well, so why not get in touch? Anador says yes. £10 a podcast says yes, please. Kenny Jones says yes. Brandon says yes. Jennifer says yes. Bob Danger says, please keep it PG. I'm with my mother. Turbo says yes. Sonny Wolf says yes. Thanks for the NWA content, says William. Hensy Coaster Maniacs says, brilliant as always. Mr. Lagana, if you are still there, I've got to just congratulate you on last week. Right, this week was brilliant. I've already put over this week. Amazing. Loved it. Last week was one of the best vignettes I have ever seen. Ever. In the history of ever. Think about ever. That's what I'm talking about. It was incredible. That Camille vignette the impact of it was... I still haven't got over it. I still haven't recovered. It was so good. It was so good. So, do you know what? Just do anything. Do whatever you want. I'm going to love it, whatever. Even when we had the old 70s stuff, we still had a great time with the commercials. So, yeah, look, whatever the NWA puts out, we're going to be here. We're going to be supporting. We're going to be representing. Just like the real world's champion, Mr. Nick Aldis, Daisy Boy. As usual, I appreciate the support, spreading the word of the NWA and the national treasure to your flock. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Aldis. Absolutely brilliant. Really, genuinely loved tonight. Seeing the backstory to Mr. Aldis, seeing the backstory to Tim Storm as well, and then actually seeing that collision. Even if it didn't go brilliant for Mr. Aldis tonight, we know that ultimately it all works out for him in the end. And obviously we've been enjoying all of that in recent weeks, kind of revisiting that journey. So, man, so good. So good. Mr. Lagana says, thank you. Monkey the Cat is trying to take the credit. Well, I'm not going to lie. I did suspect that Monkey the Cat was the brains behind it in the first place, but I didn't want to say anything out loud. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Oh, I have to go. I have to go because I have to go and record other things now. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to stick around and swoon even more, I have to go. But I've really appreciated spending this time with you guys. Make sure that you share your appreciation online with Mr. Aldis, with Mr. Storm, with the NWA. What a brilliant, just really fun Tuesday night. I love it. My favourite stream. Absolutely my favourite stream. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, I see you again next time. Bye for now.